What is up, everybody? My name's Harrison. Today, a bit of a different video. I want to bring a bit of a community update. I'm going to be reviewing the patch quickly, speaking about upcoming show matches and what that means to the community, as well as some interesting other posts and statistics I've found, which I wanted to share with you guys as well. So let's hop into it. And the first thing I want to talk about is the patch. The new patch is out, and I've been playing quite a lot of games on it. And wow, what a patch we have at the moment! It's absolutely incredible. We have the new friend ability that's really useful for players. Like, my god, even Jailed is actually online playing as we speak at the moment. So it's a feature that was so badly needed. It's a thumbs up. The game is currently free to play. That's right, free to play, and the Asian community have taken this in their stride. Earlier today, while I was at work, I counted over 100 lobbies. And at the moment, the game's popularity is through the roof. It's currently more popular than Age of Empires 4, which we'll get onto that in a moment. Now, free to play, look up, I will attach the relevant forum information for you to read up, but essentially, people can get a trial product, so they can load into the game, they can play a couple of campaigns, single player, lobby, custom games. They have access to 3 civilizations which rotate every fortnight. So they don't have access to the full game, but they kind of get through the game, see what's up to offers, so they may want to think about purchasing the game, which is, I think it's really good for the community, really good for the game. The numbers are through the roof at the moment. More exposure to a game, which I personally think is a really good game actually now. It's got to the point where we got to the place where most of the technicalities of the game actually work. It's so enjoyable, there's so much content, the community is solid, so certainly share with your friends and look into it a bit more online. Now, specifically about the patch and, well, this free to play, what has incredibly happened, I don't believe this is intentional, and I believe unfortunately this will get quotation marks fixed, but the latest patch has killed smurfing. At the moment, if you family share accounts between Steam accounts, so that is, I can create multiple accounts for myself to play with different Steam names, which have different online accounts for Age of Empires 3, hence the potential to smurf. All these accounts link to the DLC, not DLC, the preview option, which you cannot play in ranked play. So at the moment, there are no smurfs on the 1 versus 1 ladder, which I think is incredible. It's unfortunately, I think they're going to change it back. So I think it is a genuine technical mistake that needs to liaise with Steam, Age of Empires 3, Forgotten Empires, World's Edge, all coming together. But at the moment, the ladder is a bit of a joy because you know who you're playing, you know the quality of the game is going to be pretty decent. And so far, the games I've been having have been pretty fun. They've been pretty good, enjoyable. About the patch itself now, I think overall balance has been greatly improved upon last patch. Italy in a place where they're not overtly broken, but I think they still have the sense of very strong mid game. They have lots of options. No longer is it a tower spam the architects. I didn't really like that change, but it kind of, the lack of XP income from the Uvitsi card really has curtailed their explosiveness and sit-in base ability, so games are dynamic with them. I think the Dutch revolt to South Africa has been one of the worst balance decisions the game devs have ever thought about. I think they're thinking more of how can we make this revolt work in like a treaty situation or a late game team situation, but there has been games in 1v1 where you don't even need to be stored out in the 4th age for too long, but you can revolt to South Africa and then you're in like a pseudo age 5, and it's so strong. And I actually could see a hotfix coming for the South Africa revolt because I think it's that oppressive. The free population, or your houses turned to trek wagons, it's so funny. I've got a video coming out involving A's soon, which will demonstrate that, but it's so fun. But I think it's so strong. So the balance there, not too sure. Ottomans, minor tweaks and changes, a couple of minor nerfs, nothing overly too significant. Maybe the advanced church card is the biggest of the balance changes I've seen, which may improve playability, but I mean, Ottoman pick rate is off the charts. We'll come on to that in a second, but Aba's guns are still strong. There's like 3-4 upgrades to every single unit they have. There's so much potential that Ottomans have at the moment, which I find is really kind of not upsetting but troubling. Just it's kind of have a think about it, have a kind of a considerate judgment on how the civ is currently sat at the moment and how it's going to develop forwards. I know a lot of players at the moment are they wanted more Ottoman nerfs, but I know the reason why the devs didn't want to do that, and we'll probably come on to that in a second. So that's one thing about the patch notes. It's great. The balance is improved. Smurfing has been stopped, maybe potentially temporarily, but it has been stopped. Friends list, I can see all the top players coming back as a result of this, and I think that's great. The next thing I want to talk about, which I will leave the game for this because I do have a couple tabs open, is show matches. Now, recently, the show match scene has exploded. Everybody's been hosting show matches recently, and I think partly the reason is the standard and quality of recent ESOC tournaments may have been a contributing factor. Other factors involve how easy it is just to organise one show match and just get that casted. There's so many advantages of hosting small-sized events where you're there casting all of the games of the show match, not just a select few matches of the tournament. Admin overhead so minimal, and a very clear, quick pipeline from content creation through to final production if you go onto YouTube or on Twitch or whatever, and kind of has that kind of a bit more of an energetic bounce about them, which I think is very good. Sometimes in tournaments, but there's a bit of a, what can I describe is that maybe after the first week everyone's buzzing, but the second and third week all the attention kind of starts to drop a little bit, and that energy just doesn't carry through the tournament, especially as the admins get tired, the casters get tired, the viewers get oversaturated with content, and it kind of starts to fall away. So the show matches have been popping off, and there's quite a few upcoming this weekend if you want to check out, which we'll have a move over to them now and check it out. Oh, not that one. Let's exit the window. I'm currently on the display capture. First show match, ESOC, hosting a best of 7 between Julian K and Frontline this Saturday the 5th of August at 18 GMT. Prize pool yet to be announced. Most likely 0 prize pool. However, it is on the community channel at ESOC. There'll be lots of viewers there. Chat will be great as well. And can't quite see who's down to be casting it. I'd assume Jaegercheer will be casting. Maybe others as well. Maybe MFD. Good caster and a couple of others. So we'll look into that. Supposedly Italy's still banned, but I think that might change. I don't quite know. Even I put here, why is Italy banned? But that's the first showdown, best of 7. A relatively new player to the scene, RTS Championships. I believe it's like a descendant of the Royal Clan, but they hosted a best of 7 last week between Revnak and Iron Turk. However, I don't think their channel currently allows past broadcasts, so you can see how new this is. Will they come back for some more show matches? Who knows? If it is, welcome addition. Hey, give anxiety playing. Hooray! Good to see. And obviously big line as well. It is Friday, of course, when we're recording this, and probably release it as well. The next set of show matches being announced is on the Free Food Party. And this is the Pappy clan, headed by Sheikh and his hench boys. And they've got 3. That's 3 show matches this weekend. Now, usually these come with a $50 prize pool. However, that's not yet fully confirmed here on this event's info they've listed. I had a show match versus Caverna last weekend. I casted a show match on the Free Food Party Twitch the week before. That was a great series. Check that one out. But on Saturday, 5 GMT. So that's only 1 hour. That's 1 hour before the ESOC show match. We've got Look Tom versus Shake 2020 in probably a best of 5. No, best of 7. I think these guys are up for best of 7s as well. So that one's in the Saturday. Sunday around lunchtime, Lionheart versus Robot. Again, the rematch. These boys have been playing quite a lot recently. That should be a very spicy, exciting series. I hope to see you all in the chats there for that one. I don't know who's casting that. I assume it's going to be Caverna and Crispy K, all of the 2 members of the Pappy clan. So that should be pretty good to see. Also, Facundo versus Nick in the evening of Sunday. some of our Spanish-oriented players or players from the South Americas, they're the same, kind of. They're good friends, and Nick might actually be German. Now I say that, he might actually be German, so I'm going to retract everything I just said that last sentence, but all I know is that they are roughly the same level. I think Facundo might be a bit of a stronger opponent than Nick AV3, but if they've agreed to a show match, then there must be competitiveness between them, but so many more, so much content with these games. All the maps are known, you pick your civs, you get your plan. These are high quality games, and I would argue higher quality and more on the stake than on the quick search ladder. The next show match advertised next Thursday, the August of 10th. Widgie, our big boy Widgie, is hosting a show match. 5 games between Look Tom and Bramboy, and each winner of a game takes home $10. So if you want to win $50, you got to win 5-0. Is the plan that Widgie's going for. He's going to be hosting that on Thursday, and he will be casting that. So that'd be pretty good. In terms of player strength, I think Bramboy edges Look Tom slightly, but Bramboy did lose to Shake in the last show match he played, so bit iffy. I haven't lost to Bramboy since his return, but he's certainly got better since he's first came back. So, both players looking to be on the grind, solid 1800, 1850 ranked players. So check that out. And I haven't quite got an event upcoming with Lion, but Lion was the first recently to start the $50 SmackDown series, which I've been helping cast with him as well. Great series, me and him, great casters, great bounce off, and great dynamic. He hasn't said anything about the next event, and I think because all these other events have popped up, we're a bit swallowed in, not in terms of viewership, but kind of space and availability, as well as Lionheart being of quality and caliber, but he's actually playing in a couple here and there. So I don't know just yet. I'm hoping this carries on. If not, I might have to take some of the show matches into my own hands and host my own events, which I know you guys would really enjoy that. I'd enjoy it as well. So that's what I'm thinking. But certainly that is a conversation for me and Lion to have. I know that Lion wanted to do another one after the new patch dropped, which has happened now. So maybe we need to find a time and see where we can do it. So I've got great availability next week. Hint, hint, wink, wink, hit me up. Right, so that's the upcoming show matches. There's a couple more things I want to touch upon before I end this video, and that is some statistics. Now, it's not a boring statistics session, it's just interesting. And I was on the Sunbros Discord, and I think I've got this popped up a bit better. Yeah, it's pretty much the same scalability. And Hell Punch, the member of the Age of Sunbros 3, who is actually the I'm not too sure he's the owner of the AV3 Explorer app, but certainly owns the code behind it to extract the data from the API. Don't quite know the technicalities, but he's got the data. He's actually got a couple of graphs going down showing on the y-axis win rate, which I'll zoom in a little bit more for you guys. There you go. That bit too much. Win rate and play rate. Now, I believe this is over all data, over all elos, so I don't think you can take too much away from where individual points are on the map, whether they're high win rates, low win rates, high play rates, low play rates. You see a couple, the lowest play rate has been British. I think a lot of people were turned off by the 3-Vil change, which is also quite a standard civilization. Malta, quite low on the win rate as well, win play rates. I'd say it's quite a tough civ. They have quite a few weaknesses. Late game, they're pretty strong, but it's one of those that's different elo levels that you could be a 1500 elo Spain player and smash a 1550, 1600 multiplayer. So there's quite a few things to consider there. We've got some of the strongest civilizations: Germany, USA, China in terms of play rate and win rates. Aztec at the highest win rates. So I can imagine that's quite a lot of H2 Russian lower elos. And then we go to Ottomans with a play rate on the ladder of 12.5%. Oh, an eighth of every game features an Ottoman player, or eighth of all player slots is an Ottoman player. So 2 slots in an Ottoman mirror, 1 in a Ottoman versus another civ. So the play rate of this civ is insane, and I think this is the reason why the devs really don't want to nerf Ottoman any harder than they have to. They will try to do the lightest touches, a little twinkle, a little, just tune it down a little bit here and there to try and balance the civ but maintain it. Spahies, they're not changing. Free villagers, they're not going to change. Abus guns, they will change the stats of it, but they want the feel of the unit. Everything about it is pretty. You just don't want to mess with it. The bombard's not changing that. I fear with a play rate this high that the devs are kind of hand tied in what they can or can't do with a civilization. So I just like, I want to keep an eye on this. Maybe contact Hell Punch to see if he's going to get like later data points to back this up. But I find it's interesting. And you can visually see it with other civs and, I mean, Ottoman. So what this graph says is that if everybody played each civ equally, then the play rate would be on the black line, but the red line is actually where players are playing it. And, the higher level elos, it fluctuates because less games played, but huge amount, 1700 to 2000 elo, maybe to 1900, 1950, and that's been championed by Karim. But also, a lot of players are thinking, Hank, this is a good civ to play to get wins. And you see people climbing the ladder very quickly with this. Also, 14% up at the 1000 elo. Like, you can just see how beginner-friendly this civ is. And all the lower-ranked players are just hopping onto it and getting some games under. So, if you've ever been thinking why you see so much Ottoman on the ladder, well, because they are. It is played so much, and he did another chart to compare this, so he got basically the same graph but for Mexico, and only at the mid-tier elos where between 1100 and 1600 where H2 Insurgent Russians pretty strong, Central America Revolt pretty strong, simple build orders executed well can get some good results. But on both flanks, the very low and the very high, it's not played at all, or very little. Probably only Lionheart and a few select others champion in the Mexicans in the high elo. But when I saw that, I was like, wow, it's so different to the Ottoman graph there. So quite interesting. Final topic I want to talk before I close this video off is Age of Empires 3 comparison of the incoming amount of players to the game. The new patch has dropped and it's been so good for the game. Let me just zoom in a little bit. We got the 3 games here: Age of Empires 3, Age of Empires 2, Age of Empires 4. Now, Age of Empires 2 will always be the most popular game. Maybe not always, but currently it is, and not going to change for a while. It's a great game. I enjoy it, you enjoy it, everyone enjoys it. It's a great game. But the new patch has come out, and if I was to look at 7 days, okay, yes, consistently Age of Empires 3 is kind of, below Age of Empires 4, and the peak amount of players for Age of Empires 4 in a kind of a normal day, shall I say, it's much more of a sharper jump than it is for Age of Empires 3. Age of Empires 3 is kind of relatively consistent as the day goes on, but the patch has dropped, and the patch is one thing, but the free-to-play as well is quite a incentive, and it's pulling in so many players, and you can actually see the peak time here of around 3,500 for Age of Empires 3 in the afternoon, about 10,000 for Age of Empires 4, 20,000 there for Age of Empires 2, around the kind of 5 p.m, 4 p.m, 3 p.m. Now that is evening time for people in Asia. Look at the Steam charts lately, higher than Age of Empires 4, Age of Empires 3 have been. The player influx from the Asian community on the free-to-play, I believe, has been so high that the game's never been as popular as it has been. Okay, apart from release and a few of the major DLC drops, it's been looking really good here for Age of Empires 3 all of a sudden. And I just want to kind of round off the video by saying, well, we've got more players, the content's better, the competitive aspect is still alive and going quite well with all the show matches. There's so much action going on. All we need now is the kind of another desire for the top players to really push the game forward and take the game as far as possible. I would actually say that there is a bit of an opening at the top of the ladders. A lot of the older AW3 pros have kind of moved on, possibly, or they're not as interested in the game and how it's changed. But a lot of those up-and-comers are starting to fill into those gaps and take those spaces, and how we see that dynamic move over in the coming weeks, months, year is going to be super interesting. Guys Clan's still around playing a couple games here and there. Revnak's still on top of the ladder. What civ would he play in this patch? We don't know. Like, I don't know if he's going to continue the Italians. Might go into try a bit of Aztec. India wasn't overly nerfed, a bit of XP nerf, but still works quite well. Maybe he'll become a full-fledged China player. Who knows? But I think Age of Empires 3 in the near term is pretty good, secure, and content on this channel is looking pretty good and secure. I've taken a little bit of time off recently playing some other games, but I'm always here, I'm always sticking, and I'm always streaming playing the game as well. I always enjoy playing games, and I got a couple probably upcoming soon as well to drop. So thank you very much for watching. I'm so close to 1,000 subs. It'll mean the world. Well, it won't mean the world. It'll be alright, I guess, to reach 1,000. So make sure if you haven't subscribed yet, help me out, give that subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video for the current patch. See you later, guys.